Once again, a very warm welcome for our evening worship service. I would like to express my deep gratitude, my tutorial fellowship group for helping me to conduct this worship this evening. They have been practicing and helping me with each step, and I want to thank them. God bless you all. I also want to thank my dear friends from the Hindi fellowship for singing that beautiful song. When I was meditating and working on my message, I wanted a group to sing, and then this song came to my heart. A song that we used to sing in OM back in 1979. This was our open-air meeting song. Several places in North India, UP, Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, Rajasthan. The Lord took me to many states with OM. And we would sing this song. People would gather and we preached to them. So I thought, of course, you have done a beautiful work, and I want to thank you, my friends from the Indian fellowship, for doing that. I hope somebody recorded it. I will listen to it again. It's a wonderful song that gives so much of warmth to my heart. I mean, I'm sure to all of you. I wish there were some more people here today. So many empty chairs. Of course, I have no right to ask that because I don't come Sunday evening because of my health issues. And I need to be very careful with my moving around and all that. So I have no right to ask people to come, but I wish there were some more our friends in the chapel. But thank God for those of you who have come. Because I have a message to share with you from my heart. Not from my mind, from my heart. You will see that in a bit. Before I come to the passage that is read for us, before I'm going to share from that, I want to make a few concerns or a few things. Please feel as you sit in this hall that you are back in your churches, not in UTC. Physically you are in UTC, but in your mind and spirit you are listening to a message in your church. I'll tell you why that is. Very often we listen to academic messages in our chapel services, and we need to, because this is an academic college and therefore sermons must be academic, and I am for it. I preach. But since last November, I have been going through a very bad issue in my life, that is my leukemia. I don't stand for more than 10-15 minutes. I need to sit somewhere, and if I need to sit, I'll put a chair there and preach. If I can stand all the while, I'll stand, but in case if I need to sit, I'll sit and preach. And I hope you will not mind that. I'll try. I have asked the Lord to give me strength, and I know I will be able to stand. I have my both legs pain. Sometimes I fall. So whenever I am admitted in the hospital, they put a signboard, falling tendency of this patient. So the nurses can be extra careful. Falling tendency, that is the sign they put on my bed. Fallen in the bathroom in Baptist, fallen at my home many times. So my wife is very careful when I stand for too long. But I am getting physically more strong nowadays. The Lord is strengthening me. And therefore, I want to share a message from my heart. Something that I have experienced through these past 9 months. Now I'm grateful to all of you, our principal, the faculty, the students, the council members, every one of you. You have prayed for me, and my principal often tells me, really, every chapel, almost every chapel, they pray for you. And I want to thank you, sir, for your prayers. I'm getting healed. I will come back to my former health. I will continue to do what the Lord has. That is my desire. But it's all up to Him. You know, you have a desire, but the Lord knows the best for you. So with those words, let me come to the passage that is read. Mark chapter 5, 21 to 43. It's a long passage. I have titled my sermon, Illness to Wellness, Death to Life. Steps towards a breakthrough in life. Illness to wellness, death to life. Steps towards a breakthrough in life. In that passage that we read, you see there are two miracle stories put one by one after another. One is Jesus healing that women with hemorrhage, with flow of blood. For how many years? How many years? 12 years. I'm going to ask you some questions. I want to test your scripture knowledge also. 12 years, long 12 years. She is healed. Then there is another story there, miracle story. What is that story? Jairus' daughter being raised from death to life. Jairus is a person who had a standing in the society. Who was he? A synagogue leader, a well-known person. And therefore, he could come to Jesus openly and express his need. My daughter is sick, come quickly, heal my daughter. But the lady with hemorrhage, with flow of blood, could not come to Jesus. Why? What was the reason? The reason is her sickness is such that she has to be confined to her home. You follow? The law of Moses in Leviticus says a lady with a flow of blood should not come out. Anyone whom she touches or anyone who touches her is unclean. The law that is supposed to protect her has kept her under bondage. And therefore, she could not come to Jesus openly. What does she do? She expresses her need in action. She expresses her need not in words. If she comes and says to Jesus, Jesus, like Jairus, Jesus, I have this issue, touch me and heal me, she would be stoned. She would be punished. So she comes, shows her need in action. Now at the end of all this, she is healed and Jairus' daughter is raised. And my question is, how did this happen? That is what we are going to meditate about. And that's why I have put that second title, Steps Towards a Breakthrough in Life. There are different steps. Number one. In the first place, for a breakthrough, I have my PowerPoint here, and I usually don't use PowerPoint. I know that because I'm not very good in all this. And some people say people who use PowerPoint has neither power nor point. So, so I have some points. When it runs out at all, I'll go back to the notice board, to the board there. So in the first place, for a big breakthrough, there has to be a need which is impossible for people to do anything about. Because only God can do a miracle or bring a breakthrough in life. I hope you get me there. A need that is impossible for any man, any woman, anyone to do anything about. And it is there God does a miracle. God does the impossible. As I was preparing this, one verse that came to my mind was immediately the words of the angel to Mary. The angel came and said, "You are going to have a son." Her immediate reaction was, "How can this be possible? Because I have never known a man." An young lady, probably she did not know everything in the world, but she knew one thing: unless a man and a woman come together, there cannot be a child. So her immediate reaction was, "How can this be possible?" Luke 1:37 it says, the angel says to her, "With God nothing is impossible." I am facing an issue. That's why I am going to speak from my life. And I, out of curiosity, go to internet and all that, study about leukemia. And they have placed my sickness in the category of dangerous one. There are different cancers. Some cancers are dangerous, some cancers are not that dangerous, and mine is in the category of a dangerous cancer. Acute myeloid leukemia. Of course, I am getting treatment. In the human eyes, it may be impossible, but that's where I commit my life to God. With God, nothing is impossible. So in the first place, for a miracle to take place, or a breakthrough to take place, you have to have a need that is impossible for men or women or anyone can do anything about. Second, the second step towards a breakthrough is that when we have an impossible need, we must submit that need into the authority of Jesus. Verse 23 and 28. Verse 23, 5:23. It says, he pleaded earnestly with Jesus, "My little daughter is dying. Please come and put your hands on her so that she will be healed." 28. Verse 28. Because she thought, if I just touch his clothes, I will be healed. Friends, what we do when we have an impossible thing in life? What do we do when there is something in life that no doctor can do anything about? And that is where we as Christians and believers in Christ has a place to go. Jairus said, if only Jesus comes and touches my daughter, she will be healed. This lady said, if only I can touch the hem of his cloth, I will be healed. So what do you do when you have a need that is impossible? Commit that need to the authority of Jesus. I am sure there are at least a few of you sitting here. You are faced with an impossible thing in life. Probably a sickness like mine, you are not shared with anyone. Or a family issue. Friends have said, no way. Doctors have said, no way. Your mind told you, no way. You have to live with it. What do you do? My exhortation this evening is hand that over to Christ. Give it over. Don't sit on it. Don't be always worried about it. Hand it over to Him. The third step. The third step towards a breakthrough is that we must start confessing our faith in Christ. Verse 28 again. Verse 28. Because she thought, if I just touch His cloth, I'll be healed. Jairus said, if only He touches my daughter, she will be healed. Start confessing our faith. Open your mouth and say, Lord, I believe you can heal me. I believe when you touches me, I'll be healed. You see, there are different kinds of faith. We all believe there is a God. But how do we confess that? We know Jesus can heal us. But start confessing. When I was coming here, I was in my study room, sitting there and confessing, Lord, you have touched me. I was spending time in prayer, and said, I know, Lord, you have touched me. I need to keep saying that. Confessing faith, not a scientific faith. Confessing faith. I hope it will reach to at least a few of you, who are here waiting for a breakthrough. Start confessing, Lord, you can bring a breakthrough in my life. You are able. You are able. That person who came to Jesus asked him, you think I'm able to heal you? He said, yes, I believe you are able. So say with, other men and women of God, He can heal you. The fourth step towards a breakthrough, and that is press on through every discouragement that might come on our way as we wait for a breakthrough. 27 and 28, verse 27 and 28. It says there, when she heard about Jesus, she came up behind Him in the crowd and touched His cloth. And the earlier verses says that this woman had been sick for 12 long years, and it says that she has been to many doctors. She had suffered a great deal under the care of many doctors, it says there in the Bible. Under the care of many doctors, and had spent all that she had. Listen to these words. All the money she spent on her sickness. She met many male doctors. And what is her sickness? Her sickness is not something like fever or headache, something very personal. I don't know, New Testament scholars can tell me if there were women doctors at that time, probably all were male. And here is a lady going to doctors and telling a sickness that is very personal. I'm sure she must have been hard pressed. And that is where I want to encourage you. Press on. Press on. Press on through every discouragement. All those doctors must have told her, no, your sickness is such that we have no medicine for you. Go home. Confine yourself to home. No money left. Bible says there very clearly. I did not say that. All that she had, she spent on her medical treatment. Yet not healed. Has she given up? She has not given up. So, friends here, don't give up. Whatever may be your need, that you are waiting for a breakthrough, don't give up. Press on. Your day will come. In the church that we went today, the message was waiting upon the Lord. And the preacher was excellent. He said, wait upon the Lord. Press on through every discouragement in life. Yes, friends, discouragements will come. It's not all every time a life on the bed of roses. No, there will be. Sickness will come. Financial difficulties will come. Other issues will come. But press on. The next step, the fifth step towards a breakthrough is that we must make our faith connect to the Master. Or to simply say in terms, make the faith connection. Verse 28. Let your faith connect with the Master. This lady came out. She had faith, but she connected that with the Master. What did she do? She, through the crowd, there's a big crowd, through the crowd, she went ahead, touched the hem of his cloak. She made that faith connection. I hope I'm making some sense. Make your faith connection with the Master. Master and the Lord. The next step. We must refuse every offense that can come on our way as we wait for a breakthrough. Let me explain. Verse 35. Out of these two, these women and Jairus, who came to Jesus first? Can anyone tell me? Who approached Jesus first? Yes. And so he should get the priority, isn't he? Because his daughter is too unwell. And he is rushing to Jairus' home. Now in between, somebody is intruding. Somebody is coming. If I were to be in the place of Jairus, I would have told that lady, wait. Please wait. I am first, you are second. I came to him first. It must have offended, I don't know. If I were to be in the place of the lady, it would have offended me. Because my need is first. I approached him first. But nothing is said there. Jairus did not say a word. Jairus waited. I don't know how many minutes Jesus must have spent with that lady there on that scenario. But a few minutes of course. But he did not get offended. He was not offended. So friends, refuse every offense that can come on the way. I easily get offended sometimes. I'm trying to get over that, but we all get offended. When somebody says something that you don't like, refuse it. The seventh step towards a breakthrough. We must stop the fear and keep the faith. Verse 36. Verse 36. On hearing what they said, Jesus told him, don't be afraid, just believe. On the way, after healing this lady, they are going. Somebody is running to Jairus and said, don't disturb the master. Your daughter is dead. He just came and told Jairus. On hearing that, Jesus says, what did he say? It says there, don't be afraid, just believe. Stop the fear, keep the faith. Sometimes I am very fearful. I told in the Padali meeting also, a person who started with me at Baptist in October. My treatment started in November. His treatment started in October. 42, Benjamin. His name is Benjamin from Kotalu. He passed away. When I heard that, when his wife called me, we did not know them. We only saw them in the hospital, and she called and said, my husband is no more. Oh, it gave me a huge jerk. Am I the next one? And that is what the Lord told me. Stop the fear. Keep your faith. I am with you. Are you fearful? Yes, natural. I will not blame you. I will not blame you. But the encouragement from the Bible, from the Gospel this evening is, stop that fear. Keep your faith. Keep going. The 8th step towards a breakthrough is that we must learn to speak the divine truth and not human fact. Verse 39. Verse 39. He went in and said to them, why all this commotion and wailing? The child is not dead, but she is sleeping. This is something that has come to me very, very strong. Let me explain. Scientifically speaking, if the doctor was there, she would say she is dead. The human fact is that she is dead. She is gone. But the divine truth is she is only sleeping. Friends, very often, you and I, we speak human fact and we forget to speak the divine truth. There's a huge difference. Yes, I am sick. That's a diagnosis. No doubt. Leukemia. That is the physical fact. But there is a divine truth. There is a divine truth that God can heal you. Fact and truth. And I want you to take this into your heart. I know we are human beings. We all are weak. We have our own, fears. But learn to speak divine truth. Lord, you are able to touch me and heal me. I don't want to concentrate more on the human factor, but on the divine truth. The 9th step towards a breakthrough is that we must put out every unbelief from our hearts. Verse 14. It says there, when Jesus said she is only sleeping, they laughed at him. They mocked him. They made fun of Jesus. After he put them all out, he took the child's father and mother and the disciples who were with him and went in where the child was. I often wondered whenever I read this passage, I was meditating and preparing this. Why did Jesus not allow everyone to enter? It would have been a good scene. People are standing around. Jesus is doing a miracle. But he said, those of you laughed at me. Those of you cannot believe. You cannot be in a situation where miracles will take place. We must confess, my friends, very often there is a lot of unbelief. So whenever I pray, one of the things that I pray to the Lord is, Lord, take out that unbelief from my mind. Yes, I know I am preaching. Yes, I know I am telling you, but still, that thought comes. If what happened to Benjamin happens to me, I don't share this with many people, but that fear is there, and we must confess. We all have that, and He will sympathize with us. He is not going to say, because you did not believe in me, Thomas, I am going to take your life off. He is not a God like that. In Hebrews, I forgot which chapter, there is a verse, except sin. Except sin. He has gone through all the tests, all the temptations, all the weakness that we go through. And so He is able to sympathize with us. I would like to use the word more than sympathize, empathize with us. There is a difference between empathy and sympathy. Dr. David and other counseling people can tell us there is a lot of difference between sympathy and empathy. Empathy is putting yourself in the shoe of the other person. So He empathizes. Even when I have no proper faith, He empathizes with me. And finally, the last step, there I close. The last step towards the breakthrough is that we must speak the command of faith to the situation that looks impossible. Verse 41. He took her by the hand and said to her, Talitha Kumi, which means, little girl, I say to you, get up. That command of faith. We are not able to do that. We are weak people. Jesus did it. But we have an example there. Speak that command of faith. Little girl, get up. Friends, these are a few thoughts that came to my mind as I was meditating, and as I told you, this is from my life, and therefore there is not much of academic thoughts in it, but I thought there are families here, our student wives are here, and others are here. There may not be students in UTC, and therefore I should share a message not from my mind, from my heart. I often say this, the greatest blessing that I have received in life is that God gave me the privilege to follow Him. I often say, my father gave me, because this is my English Bible, my Malayalam Bible is at home. He gave me that Bible on the 3rd of August 1979. And this August 3rd, I completed 45 years since the day I left my home. A small boy, when I could not think anything beyond my village. I remember from Cochin, in a huge truck, they brought us to Bangalore. From Bangalore to Tumkur. For the recruitment conference. On the very first day, a tall Englishman from UK, he was driving a truck from Cochin to Tumkur. The first day of conference was over, everything is happening in English, and B.B. Thomas is not able to understand one single sentence. I am sitting there listening to everyone taking classes, what is oil, what is gospel work, what is North India, they are explaining, 1 week of conference. I did not understand anything. That evening, the seniors in oil, people who are already in oil, 5 to 7 games, times for game and all that. They were all there down in that CSI compound in Tumkur. And I was standing there outside. This tall man, Englishman, he came, patted on my back and asked me, "Vivi Thomas, how are you?" I looked at him. What is he asking me? How are you? First time I'm listening to an English word in life. I did not say any answer. He patted me on my back again, on my shoulder. "Brother, how are you?" I'm small, he's 6+, he's a very tall man. I did not know how to answer. Third time, he's not leaving me. He wants an answer. "How are you?" I thought he's not going to leave me. I must tell him something. So I went back to my village, my small village. As a small boy, 6, 7, whenever my father went out to the market or to the church, he would sometimes take me. I would hold his hand, walk with him. So people coming across will ask my father. My father's name was Varghese. "Varghese, how are you?" In Malayalam. "Endodu Vishesham." "Bagunara." In Telugu, I read some Telugu in Andhra when I was there. So, "Endodu Vishesham." This is in my Endodu Vishesham. And the asking party wants to know if something is happening special at home. So we don't say in our village, "Fine and all." Usually my father will say, "Onnumilla." Onnumilla means kuch nahi. Onnumilla. So I told this person nothing. Herald his name. He said, "What man? Nothing." First time he got an answer for "How are you?" Nothing. I said nothing. So one of the seniors who took me to oil, my fastest son in my village, he was already in oil. He learned fine and how are you and all that. So he ran to me. He said, "Sunny," Sunny is my name at home. He said, "Sunny, tell him fine and run away." So I told him fine and run away to my room. And people were making fun of, "Vivi Thomas, how are you?" Nothing. That was the talk that day. And I was crying in my room. Lord, teach me some English enough to talk. From that nothing, he took me to something. The reason I am standing here today is because he took me from nothing to something. I always say this. The Lord gave me the grace to guide 6 doctor students and they got the DTH. One is on the way, I am sending his report. Chinsa, I am sending his report. On Monday, 7 and 5 are now. Told a person who said nothing for "How are you?" is able to guide doctor students, teach here in UTC. Thank God for our principal who brought me here in 2018. He took the initiative to bring me here. God used different people at different stages to teach me. Now this has come, this leukemia, and I know there is a breakthrough for this also. And that is where I would appreciate your prayers. I want to be a blessing to this campus, to students, to faculty, to staff. You have been a blessing to me, every one of you. All the students, the faculty, and the staff, the principal. I want to thank all of you. Please continue to pray for me for a total healing. 8 chemo is over last Tuesday. How many more? I keep asking. He says, "I will not tell you." He keeps continuing my chemo. He wants to make sure that the cancer is totally out from my body. And therefore, I appreciate your prayers. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Don't make criticism of my message out there, okay? This is not a trial sermon. This is a sermon from my heart, and therefore bear with me if I am not rising up to the standard of UTC for an academic message. I will do that next time, if God willing. God bless you.